How's it going, folks? Now, these are Kruger coins from South Africa. They've got Paul Kruger on them. This the same guy that has his head on the Kruger rand. These are silver. The Kruger rands were gold. So the denomination was the rand, and it had a British style build up to it in shillings, and they were sort of roughly the same weight as a normal shilling and a normal 2 shilling. So this is one of my favourite coins here, the penny, and the reason for that is the patina. So I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about patinas. Now, with copper coins, you want, they basically have a surface, and that's called the patina, and they can be very, very different. So I brought down a penguin to show you the difference. Now, the reason that's in a Ziploc bag, I'll explain that in a minute. This is a marbled patina. So basically, the marbelling is where some of the copper has it's kind of patinaed and some hasn't, and it's just left that wee pattern. It's quite easy on the eye, And there's Kruger in all his glory there on the back. And there's the silver ones. And they're quite a nice, decent wee silver coin, No, it's a good wee silver coin. A good wee shilling as well. This one's a wee bit, it's got wee hairline scratches on it if you look. Excuse me. It's just sort of got the wee hairline scratches on it. It's not too bad. That's just from being in pockets, It's obviously been in a bag of shillings at some point. It's been maybe in an old wagon or something, been rattled about. And so this one here is not too bad. But this thing's brilliant. That's obviously been kept in some... By the look of it, it has the look of something that's been like a leather bag or something. A lot of the times, if it keeps that good grade, and there's a funny patina on it, it'll be because it's been contacted with leather, or something like that. There's some reason why that patina's gone onto it. If people knew the reasons for a lot of these things, they'd be making the coins themselves. Making the fake version of it. Now this one here it's in a Ziploc bag for the air tightness, but the plastic, this here plastic's different from the plastic of the other. The wee thing that's inside, the wee bag that's inside it. So you have to have it in the 2 bags for the total air tightness, and you can't have this bag contacting the coin, or else it'll just become very strange very quickly, basically. I don't know what else I can really say, but yeah, this one here's got some spots on it, but they're just not really growing or anything. You keep an eye on them, and if they continue to grow, what you might do is basically get a plastic, if you're using a plastic, almost like a toothpick or something, you know what I mean? Some sort of plastic, a plastic toothpick or something like that. It needs to be plastic so it doesn't scratch the surface, but you can't touch it, or you can't use anything that's going to be sharp enough to scratch it. But so it needs to be soft, like plastic or something, What I would do then, if that sort of starts to become a problem over time, I think it's bigger than when I first bought this coin, to be honest. And there's another boy there I'm not too happy about, But what you would do is give that a rub with a wee plastic toothpick and just try and get the sort of, all you'll do is get the kind of nasty, heavy sort of, it's called Verdigris, that's like a copper, it's just copper oxidization. It'll have started out basically as a little tiny piece, just a wee spot, and then it'll have, it'll basically have increased over time. So this is the kind of guy that that wee spot there, you can see. Excuse me. That wee spot there that I showed you turns into something like that over time. It just gradually grows and grows and grows. And what you can do to prevent that is not prevent it, but certainly slow it down. Is just to rub the kind of the bulk of it off with like a plastic implement of some kind. Keep it airtight as possible. You know, I'm taking them out to photograph them, and then if you leave that bag open, it'll feed. Now the moisture in the room will feed that verdigris, like, you know. So these coins in ways are like living things, you know, they're not, you know, they're definitely not just sort of sitting there and, you know, and not doing anything, you know, as such. And so that's what this sort of video course is going to be all about. It's just about explaining the basics and, well, explaining everything really. And I'm going to do that, I think, a wee bit more, rather than just sitting talking to you face on. I'm just going to be doing it through like demonstrations as well as just obviously, you know, like either face on stuff and whatnot. But the demonstration I think will always be more interesting.